Hello and welcome to the Screen Chronicles. I'm Colby. With me as always is Steve. And today we are rejoined by our special guest for a second time. You know him as Cnut from the Last Kingdom, and you now know him as Eivor of the Raven Clan from Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Magnus Bruun, welcome back to the Screen Chronicles.
Cheers, and thank you.
Skål! Skål!
Yes, skål. Odin is with you.
Odin is with you. So Magnus, last time we had you on, we asked you what's coming up in the future, and you told us you couldn't tell us yet.
Yeah.
And you told us it had nothing to do with Vikings.
Did I say that?
Yes.
I think you sarcastically said that. And then about a week later, maybe 2 weeks later, it was announced that you were going to play the male lead in Assassin's Creed Valhalla, which blew our mind. We didn't realize it was going to be that big, what you had coming up. Was it hard to keep that in when you were talking to us before?
No. I'm used to keeping secrets now.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff. You just but you signed this, so if you say it, they'll kill you.
Yeah.
And take your money and your kids and your what?
Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah.
You sign stuff with your blood, and it's like, this is weird. Why am I doing this?
Right.
But yeah, it was big. It is big, and I'm not quite sure I knew how big it was at that point, because I've been working on Assassin's Creed for almost a year when we were chatting, I think.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Because it was announced when was it announced? I can't even remember.
It must have been like May.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was May because we talked to you in
I think
April
we
before the show
I've
came
been
out.
late
working
April.
maybe 8 months or so on the game at that point, and I knew it was big because there's a lot of games, there's a lot of gamers, but how big could it be? There's a lot of games coming out. But then when it was announced, my Twitter just went.
Yeah. Our talk with you went like crazy.
Just
yeah,
everyone who wanted
yeah.
to hear your voice. They were.
Who the fuck is this guy?
There was one comment that stuck out to me. Somebody said like, when you are part of this franchise, you become immortalized. Like he doesn't realize like how big this is going to be for him or something like that. You have to go back to that video and see what he said. But I was like, wow, like I didn't realize like it was going to be this big from the gaming community.
Yeah.
And cool.
I did.
Well, kudos to you, Steve. Well, it really dawned on me when the trailer came out. The
trailer was amazing.
It was a really cool trailer, and I did some motion capture for it, and I was shouting a bit. Odin is with you.
Odin is with us.
In the first 10 days, it was viewed by more than 100 million people. And that was just on the Ubisoft platforms.
Right.
They were not checking YouTube, and people have copied the link. And I saw links with like
Facebook
7 million views. That wasn't YouTube. Wasn't Ubisoft.
Oh
And that was 100 million views in 10 days. That is. I can't even describe how crazy that is. That is. At that point, it was like, okay, this might be bigger than you think, Magnus. Also, my gamer friends just went crazy when I told them, like, oh no, just like, I'm gonna kill you so many ways. Like, yeah, sure, you do that. I will have made the sounds for that.
Yeah.
It's pretty crazy now because we've
just
talked to you
finished-
before, but now I've been heard you talk some. I can choose what you say sometimes, so it's pretty crazy.
Yeah. It's great.
Yeah. You're playing the game.
Yeah.
I just finished it last night. I finished the main story last night.
Oh, congratulations!
Thank you.
That's good.
It was a long haul.
How many hours?
I don't log it. I'm not a huge gamer personally. I actually bought a PS4 so I could play this game.
Oh.
Because I knew you were in it and Yepa and a lot of the Last Kingdom people. I was like, I really got to play this game. And
So had you played any of the other Assassin's Creed games?
I played very briefly. I played one of the older ones, and I couldn't even tell you which one it was. It was on my cousin's PS4, and I was just like, I want to try it. So this was my first full-blown Assassin's Creed experience.
Okay, because then
I've been playing since the very first one.
Yeah, he's into it.
Yeah, I'm way back in the day. I missed a few in the middle.
I'm going to fist bump you right here. Yeah, so I guess you had some weird experiences in the game. Like, I'm playing this Viking game. Oh, what the fuck is this?
Yeah.
Why am I? What is this sci-fi shit? What is?
I want to.
Well, I looked up I looked up like videos on like this main storyline before I played just to get a grasp on it. But so I kind of had a gist of it, and Steve filled me in too. But yeah, it was weird the first time like they left the medieval world and were in the future. That was definitely strange.
Yeah, but also there's a lot. That's just story wise. It's so massive.
Yeah, it was huge.
Because you have the Isu, and you have what the time you log into, and then you have the present day. It's like
oh my god.
Ooh. Oh yeah, you need a even me. I had a refresh with timelines and videos to see like, right, what is going on with who's this? What's the world in right now?
so having also because of the developers of the game or the games, it's not the same guys and girls who sit and work on each game. So somebody will be working this way, and this is the present day stories like this, and this is a callback to that, and then the next game is already also being made. So when you have when Odyssey came out, they were deep in working on Valhalla, so they could see so they're doing this and that, and okay, we need to fix that then, or we need to bring this in because they're doing that. So they're trying. And sometimes you'll just have a game director just going this way, and then you'll have some other guys sitting, shit, but how are we gonna? But we're gonna.
Oh yeah, interesting.
Because it takes fairly 3 years, give or take, to make one of the Assassin's Creed games, which is quite fast. I think they use like 8 years on Red Dead Redemption.
Really?
So also when people are comparing, it's like, but you don't have 14 Red Dead Redemption games.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed keeps spitting them out. So you can't quite, of course you can always compare, but it's very different in the way they're making the games.
So like since I haven't played the other games, as far as like how big this one is this one like, are they all this big, the map and the quests, or is this one bigger?
I think this is the biggest yet.
Yeah.
Odyssey was pretty huge though too. I mean, it was gigantuan.
Yeah. I think this one is a little bit bigger than Odyssey, but somehow they made it more connected for the character, the gamer's journey, and Eivor's journey. So it doesn't feel like I'm lost in what island I'm on, you know.
That's what, the other one, I got into it was cool, but it's also, you have to like, you're traveling like through the entire Greece. Like it's not scaled down in any way. And you're just like, oh man, like this is cool, but like what I need to do is way over there. And I feel like I'm just years away from getting to that.
Yeah, and I think some of what the developers of and also the directors of Valhalla wanted was that every story, every world event, side quest should somehow bring you closer to the character you're playing. It has to come together, and if it's not story driven, then it's character driven. Then you're meeting these weird characters like, what the fuck is this? but there's a reason, because that had you make some choices then as Eivor how am I gonna cope with that? So it's all driven somehow. Oh, am I taking the Viking way, or am I actually trying to be the more
like progressive minded kind of?
Yeah. Am I just raiding, or do I just pillage and burn, or am I more like I want a settlement, I want to make alliances, I want to stay here, I want to put my big fat ass on a throne, whatever dream you have.
Like there's a lot of moments too where like it's at the end of like a boss fight and Odin comes and says, well, if you kill him you'll get respect for this, but if you spare him you'll get something else. And it's like, oh god damn it, Odin, why do you have to make this so hard?
Yeah. Like, yeah, fuck you, Odin. I guess it's not a big spoiler, but if it matters what you choose, the main story, you will have a different ending of the main story based on the choices you make, especially based on, I think it's 6 big choices you have in the game. Ooh. And you will then find out, oh shit, I did, oh no, but I did, so that is what, or you just go, yeah, I don't fucking care, whatever ending.
Yeah.
So, and I like that about the game, that you choose what kind of Viking you want to be. Yeah. Because you can't just go, well, I'll kill him. Yeah, well, I'll kill him as well. I'll hit him in the face. I don't care. I'm gonna bet her and him, and I'm gonna, or you can go like, oh no. Oh, if he tells me that this would be the good way to do it, then I will respect his ways. You can go that way as well.
Right.
And you will you will benefit from each, but differently.
The only thing you can't do is when you're on a raid, you can't go and just kill random priests. I was like, I
want to kill priests.
I'm on a raid. No. But,
and you just went looking for priests, didn't you?
I just hopped off the boat and I was just
I see through you.
I just started hacking my first raid, and it was like, if you kill more, you're going to desynchronize. And I was like, now I need to figure out. I need to figure out now how many can I kill before I desynchronize, so that on every raid I can get in a couple. No.
Yeah, but there's a lot of stuff obviously that I have had nothing to do with.
Oh yeah.
So there was also stuff I wanted to put in that we tried, but we can't do that. I wanted to bring in a shield wall.
We were talking about that the other day.
Yes.
I wanted Eivor to be able to join in a shield wall.
God.
But that just was too hard to make workable for the people making the game. I think they tried something, and it's like, then it's just not cool. Then it's not because then it has to be a fun experience and also work for some purpose in a battle, and you raid and you bring you spoiler, but you get alliances and you can you can use them and you're supposed to use them at some point to help you out for bigger battles. But it's always character driven. It's always you. And how much would it matter if the playing character is running into a shield wall and just do a little stuff here? And it's for bigger games where you play armies.
Yeah,
you join in those when you ram,
which was awesome. I love those. Are my favorite part of the games. Were storming the castle, laying siege.
Yeah,
it was awesome.
So you do stuff not similar, but in the same ideas in it, but just not. I couldn't get the shield wall in.
Oh man,
that's awesome. You tried though, because I mean that was the one thing I was like, we've got the cool, the supernatural element you can go to. We've got all the raiding. It feels very grounded and realistic too, even though they still bring in the mythology that makes it really cool too. But then like shield wall, but that's the one thing.
Just the shield wall.
We were hoping, but it was.
Yeah, I'm sorry to disappoint. But the next Valhalla game, well, no.
That would be awesome.
No, there'll be DLCs, but there won't be. I'm pretty sure they won't make another one because it's the story's out.
Kind of keep moving, and
they have a big cauldron, and they're making something else now, and that's the way it's supposed to be.
Totally.
I'm glad that I've become part of this franchise, this world of very, very exciting, cool people making the games, but also playing the games. And to be able to keep working on it now on DLCs and talking to you about it, and that is something else. It's special. I'm proud and happy to be a part of it. And I've never been a gamer. I played games when I was young. I played like Colonization, and the like Warlords, it was called before it became Warcraft, and then Warcraft 1 and 2, and then it became StarCraft. I stopped with StarCraft, but I played the early bits of that, and obviously Counter-Strike, because I'm a dude. But we've all been through that. Some is still stuck there, and that's cool. You can stay wherever you want. But so I played games, and but I figured out I wanted to act. I think I wanted to play music and meet girls and go out and for me, that gaming when I was in my teens, I was sitting at my big brother's computer.
Oh yeah.
So I had to sit in his room playing. I didn't have my own laptop, so that also was like, can I use you? No. Okay. Well, then I'll do something else. Then I put on the costume. Stupid game. I will be the game.
Totally.
So it's been fascinating to join in this world. Because I sort of jumped into a genre world with the Last Kingdom, and a massive fan group that is really cool, but also intense people. That really, some people are living as Vikings. That is fucking intense, man. And I applaud it. Cheers to all of you Viking boys and girls out there. Oh yeah. Hey, Ubisoft sent me all kind of stuff. I should have brought that. I just brought a can of beer here because it's evening in Denmark, so I'm allowed.
Yeah, you're allowed.
You're allowed.
I'm allowed.
We decided we'd drink with you this time since last time we didn't.
Yeah. I remember. I brought up the whiskey, and he was like, fuck.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little early for us that day.
Baby boo.
We have water. So how did this whole thing even come about? How did it start? Like you getting the role of Eivor?
They were looking for Scandinavian actors, and I'm a Scandinavian actor, so that was helpful.
Okay. Well, we were just talking about, we were glad they used Scandinavian actors compared to like God of War, where like Mimir was Scottish, and so we appreciated that at least.
Yeah, they try to be as accurate as they can be, with Saxon being Saxons and Danes being Danes, just as in the Last Kingdom. Actually, they didn't want to go the Vikings way, where they just kind of made up their dialect from a lot of Canadian actors. They wanted to try to also get the feel of the difference between Scandinavian actors, how they play, how we talk, how we move, what is in that, how do we use the English language. So you really would see the difference when you see the British actors, So the dynamic would be very different. That was what they were looking for, and I think they succeeded with in the Last Kingdom. Totally. And nothing bad about Vikings, but I'm glad that I could use my own Danish, Scandinavian dialect. I had some help with something because we tend to sound too American or British. So we had to scale that down.
Interesting.
We're fairly good at English in Scandinavia, so we just want to sound more and more English.
Right.
But they wanted us to sound less and less English, speaking English. So it's like, oh, you can't say isn't, it's is not.
Oh, interesting.
Like, so because the other is more British as well. They do that. You don't do that. You say man. You don't say man. Man, that's American. He was a great man. Okay, so I had a dialect coach working on stuff like that. And we had the same with the Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Had a lot of language professors helping us, especially with the pronunciations of words and people, names, towns, places. It had to be accurate. And then we had to make a lexicon, so everybody was saying the same. So
gotcha.
So you don't have Sigurd and Sigurd and Sigurd and Sigurd. Everybody has to. His name is Sigurd.
Sigurd.
So that is
Sigurd.
So, because in Danish, the name is Sigurd. That would be how to pronounce it, Sigurd, and that they didn't go that way. The same in the Last Kingdom. Skate would be in both Norwegian, Swedish, and Danish be Skell.
Oh.
Which is a scale, which is a black bird, but skate. Okay, that's how we do it. So we can't call her anything else than that.
Right.
You see it actually in a little bit
continuity, right?
Because in the early seasons they actually call Ragnar for Ragnar. Some do. So I think they were a little less worried about that. But then at some point they just went, we had to be close.
Right. I think they do that with Ireland too or something. I think early on, if they mentioned like Ireland, they said Ireland, and then later they said Ireland.
Yeah, this season 4 they started saying Ireland, I think. And
Difflin. And
that
thing I noticed.
That might be right.
And there's been a few actors too that we've talked to when they talk about Uhtred, they say Uhtred too. Yeah. Would that be the way, I guess, with the Scandinavian?
No. That's just because you're not looking at where the H is in the word.
Okay.
Just mispronunciation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I did that as well. So I'm not pointing fingers. I remember Harry McIntyre coming out to me like, I don't care, but it is the lead. You might as well pronounce his name right. It's like, yeah, got you, Harry.
So speaking too of Harry McIntyre, I mean, there was a lot of other Last Kingdom cast members in this game. As far as I don't want to drop too big of spoilers on people, but Jeppe Beck Larson's in it. He plays a pretty interesting character as far as the supernatural things go. And in the real world, Harry pops up in it. Were they just in it because of they wanted the actors to be from those regions that we talked about, or is because
it's because they're fucking great actors and they have amazing voices. That is mainly why, and also because they're from Norway. Harry's from England, obviously. Mm-hmm. You also have Björn Bengtsson, Swedish.
Last Kingdom, super well represented.
I think
Thomas Gabrielson's in it. He was Guthrum. Yeah. He played Gunnar in the game, and who played Ethelred the First in season 1 of Last Kingdom. He has this minor role I saw.
I can't even.
Oh, what's his name?
But there's a lot. Yeah,
Alec Newman.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The creators of Valhalla really likes The Last Kingdom.
I think that came through.
And they really they think it's the most accurate portrayal of that period.
Nice.
Nice. So actually, Darby McDevitt, he told people to watch that. Watch The Last Kingdom to get in the groove of making the game.
Awesome.
Which is nice. Not that they are taking stuff from the game, but they just thought this is the gritty feel that we want sort of to experience. And also the first season of The Last Kingdom is sort of where you put in that time is when you jump into Valhalla. So it totally makes sense.
And there were a few parallels that we mentioned with each other, Steve. I mean, dying with the weapon in hand was something that Last Kingdom seemed to focus on more so than like Vikings did. And then Valhalla kind of ran with that. Even the Mary Louis part with the skull totally reminded me of season 2 Uhtred. Yeah, there were it just seemed more Last Kingdom feel for sure. So
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and it was also nice because I had none of my friends had seen me in The Last Kingdom when I auditioned for this. Because it only came out in Denmark. Season 3 came out in, I think, November 2020. So it's not, and we have made season 4, and it's been out in the world for almost a year now, and you know.
I know.
So it's been weird making this big character in a big series, and nobody'd seen it. Only two or three friends, one living in Canada, one staying in New York, and one who went on a trip to Thailand and watched it on Netflix there. You know, so coming into the audition room in London for this, and they're like, "Oh, Magnus, you play Cnut in that? Yes, you know." They knew it. They knew me from that. That wasn't why they picked me, but they knew me, and they respected my work and liked my work on the series. So obviously that helped.
Yeah.
But they were looking for very specific things in voice quality. They told me that the auditions, we made, you know, self tapes obviously in the beginning, and then after some weeks you get a call back if you're lucky or privileged enough to get that, and then they invited me to London, and at that point I was auditioning for Sigurd in the game. But when they invited me to London, they wanted me to audition for Sigurd and Eivor, and then it was 2 days. I did 2-day audition, and on my second day they only wanted me to audition for Eivor.
Gotcha.
So I was at that point playing opposite Sigurd, actually playing opposite Gudmundur Thorvaldsen, Gummi, who is he plays Sigurd in the game,
right?
We just had instant chemistry. That was really cool. That was a really cool. I think we worked for an hour together. That was a really cool session.
Awesome.
But talking about the voices and specific, they are listening. They would like have the audition tape with me and Sig and Gumi, for example, or just me, my first tape, and they would just turn the screen and just listen to the scene, not looking at it, just listening to it. And then hey, then have their husbands and wives coming in. Hey, listen to this. Just close your eyes, listen to this, and then listen to this one. Okay. And that is a big part of the process. of getting this gig, because it doesn't matter how interesting you are, looking how your face will grow. They're going to use that for motion capture, obviously, but the main part of this is, can we listen to this voice for 200 hours and not kill ourselves? You know, because does it get boring? This is what you as a gamer will only be hearing this all the time. You know, there's not so much of small inner dialogue. There's so much gameplay talk, and then you have all the scenes and all your choices with whatever you want Eivor to say. And if you're not into the voice, that's a tough game, man. And then you might just do like this, like, nope. You know,
that's what we were talking to Jeppe, who plays Heston from The Last Kingdom, and he's also in the game. And also Runa Tempte, who's from The Last Kingdom. We were talking to them how recognizable and how distinguishable, I guess, Danish voices were, especially when we first started watching The Last Kingdom, and just the accent was just so different and weird from the other, or not weird, but so unique compared to other media that we've seen. good. It's cool. It sounds, and we'd be like imitating it on our walks and stuff like that. We'd be trying to do it. So it was so strange then when other games like love God of War, great game, but then when they have like a Scottish accent for, you know, someone who's supposed to be Scandinavian influence.
I think the main character just has like a normal accent, like
Kratos.
I don't know, normal accent, like an American accent, doesn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, he's
but it's normal because it's ours.
It's so deep, so you will never can't figure it out. He's just talking like this all the time. Yeah, and he has an amazing voice, by the way.
He does.
I had some comments about when the trailer came out and was first gameplay. It's like, why does he sound like that? It's a soft-spoken Dane. Like I want the character to sound like Kratos from God of War.
Oh, really?
Well, we talked about that, and that wasn't the way we didn't go that way, because you have to have a character that people should be able to fall in love with and to make alliances with, and a person that people will follow and respect and not be afraid of all the time.
Yeah.
But also have that edge, right? That when you do want to execute a king, you know.
I think Eivor does when he's like, we need to do this or plan it. Like he does. He sounds scary, but then he can sound sexy too. You know, he's like
deeds are more direct than words.
He's like the Danish James Bond, right? You know, when he's charming someone up, or then he's like saying poetry to someone before a battle.
Tonight I ride the flaming sea steed, rushing for the spear. The watcher light on water's wake. Another glory I will keep.
Like you couldn't just have I'm Kratos, you know, for that kind of line. You know what I mean?
No, and I had some long chats with Darby about that, and also and all the game creators. We talked a lot about how they wanted it and how I wanted it, and what they really wanted was my voice, the voice they've heard on the original self-tape I made. I was telling a story, one character to another, and started whispering, and they wanted to have that quality of a character that doesn't just sound like all the time.
Right.
They're a human being that gets sad and gets mad and gets emotional and gets annoyed and all that. And Eivor is in he follows his emotions.
So it's way more relatable for someone playing the character, and they did such a good job of making this game an individual experience for everyone who plays it. But those are kind of small details I don't think people think about a lot that really kind of connects them to the character, just humanizing him.
Yeah,
or her.
Or her. Cecilie Stenspil is doing an amazing job as a female Eivor. Yeah, I've had people writing to me stuff like, when you talk to your raven, I get emotional. It's like okay,
that's funny.
Well, you're really into it then. That's really cool.
To me, Sonin.
Yeah. No, that's way too much. That would be the Kratos way. Like,
I'm trying. I can't do a good Magnus. I just can't.
No. Well, you probably could. You just have to work on it.
Okay, I'll try.
We'll keep doing our Danish accents.
You have to do your walks.
Yeah,
we have to go on our. When we were in grad school,
usually comes out as like German. My it just. I saw talking like these or Dutch.
That was Italian, I think. But
that was not German.
So anyway, though, you did have to share this role. How did that work as far as, because I know you like to bring a lot of things into, back when we were talking about playing on The Last Kingdom. So how was that kind of working with someone else? Did you guys have to kind of collaborate if you were kind of bringing on like a unique spin on it, something, or how did that go?
We had some talks about it. I actually recommended Cecilie to the game directors, because they couldn't find the perfect. They've been looking for a long time, Also, when I did the auditions for male Eivor, they were doing auditions for female Eivor and had, I don't know how many, but many through. And a lot of good actresses, really good actresses, but not with that voice quality they were looking for, when they turn the screen away and just listen. So I was shooting motion capture at that point in Montreal, and they still hadn't found the female lead. And I just said, hey guys, I know some really cool Danish actresses. Do you want me to put you in contact with those? Yes, yeah, please. So I wrote, I think, 4 names down with Cecilie as number 1, because I knew her from, she's been working as a voice actress for 25 years, doing cartoons and voiceover speaks, all kinds of that. And she's also really good and talented actress on screen and in theater. We trained at the same school in Odense in Denmark. And usually we would follow each other in that way that I did all the motion capture for Eivor. Almost, I think 95% of it. There's one scene where Cecilie came to Canada, and we shot one scene together and I can't spoil why that was. If you have finished the game, you might understand why.
I think you can. Oh, I don't know.
Can I spoil?
Yeah. Go ahead.
We're fine with you spoiling whatever you want to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Spoil it.
Spoil the hell out of it. Okay. Cool. Where I play Odin in the game as well. Right. The voice of Odin, and we all, and I also play Eivor's father, and Cecilie also plays Eivor's mother.
Oh, that's right.
So, and that's only in like the prologue of the game. You hear a little bit more later in the game when you get to Valhalla. Oh my God, do you go there? Ooh. Yes, you do. If you're good. But there's a scene with Odin and Eivor, and I played Odin in that scene, and Cecilie played Eivor. So she had one jump in the motion capture character.
I see. Okay.
And so that was pretty cool. It was nice. She's really cool. She's such a cool woman. And such a nice person. So it's been a pleasure working with her and having a lot of fun with her. But we didn't shoot every scene. I think they do that in some games where then the female jumps in and do the scene, and then the male jumps in and do the scene. Then they go to the next scene. I shot all the motion capture.
Gotcha. Okay.
Also because the female Eivor is not. She's a beast, She's a fucking. She's a Viking warrior. Eivor is a Viking warrior, and it's sort of the same structure,
Yeah. There's no issue just translating it over then.
No, and also it's very easy for them to create, and then we will do that. If I had been big, had a big belly, and they wanted my voice for this, they would just be able to, and I did all the motion capture, they would be able to do like this. So now he's thin,
Oh yeah.
So they can do that. It's animation, which is something else coming from The Last Kingdom, where I had to be like, I'm the fucking warlord here. Right. I could just go, I'm gonna go and have another drink. Can I get dessert on this? Yeah. 2 desserts, yes.
So is this your first time doing motion capture for anything?
Yeah.
Have you done it? Yeah. And tell us a little bit about that experience doing motion capture.
I love it.
Okay.
I love it. It's so fun. Everything is possible. They can just create it. It's one big, perfect CGI set you're working on.
Yeah.
I think that was really fun. First 2 days, I sort of hated it, but then because it was weird, I shot my last scene of The Last Kingdom a week prior to flying to Canada and shooting my first motion capture for Eivor. The first thing I had to do was to shave you know. So they took my Viking away, so I could play this Viking.
Yeah.
And I was in this tight black spandex suit with different colored dots all over it, and a head helmet with 4 cameras in front of me, and that was it. Go be this Viking hero. Go. You know, it's like, wow. I was, you know, maybe I need help. I don't know. This
compared to coming off the set of Last Kingdom, where they make everything look so real and you're in costume, and
comparing sitting on a black stallion, now sitting on a box, you know, it's just something else. But we figured it out very fast, very quickly. I learned how to scene with the my first scene I ever shot. I think I had a bow. Eivor it's actually Odin, Harvey, walking around trying to shoot a wolf.
Ooh, yeah.
And that was my first motion capture scene. And when I got the bow, I was like, oh, suddenly I have a weapon. How are you're walking like this with a bow? Okay, so you're not jumping around. You're okay. And suddenly the character just came like, okay, yeah, oh yeah, because it's not strange for me to imagine being somebody else or being a Viking warrior. You know, but it's just like they've totally cut my testicles here, putting me in this I don't know 90s aerobic suit. It's like, now be the hero. It's like, oh. But then just having that weapon just helped me. And then I got a belt and a big Eivor's dad Baron's mammon axe. I got that. I had that, and I always had that. That was became part of my you know, motion capture costume. So
awesome.
It's just having that axe just made me feel like, okay, this is how I walk, because you walk differently when you carry a weapon. It's just something else. It's just like having big leather boots on. You know, you stand more grounded. It's just that's just how it is. So if you ever want to turn to acting, footwear, it's very important.
Oh, interesting.
Actually, I don't know. Is a Danish actor called Kim Bodnia. I don't know if you know him. He's been around. He did Killing Eve. Have you seen that series?
I haven't seen Killing Eve. No.
He plays the boss, hitman, her old boss in that. He's really cool. I've done a lot of work with him in Denmark. But I remember when I was in drama school, he told me, like, Magnus, footwear. Just when you're on stage, you pick your own footwear, something that it's your own and you can walk in, because you're going to kill your feet if you just put some leather shit on. He was like, it was really important for him that I chose my own footwear, and it was good and aerodynamic, because you're gonna stay on that stage for 3 hours every night, and if it hurts a bit, it's gonna hurt for the whole 2 months. You're gonna play do the play.
Wow.
It's just so footwear is important.
Did you do that for Cnut? Did you pick your own boots, or?
No, they made special boots for me.
Oh, cool.
So they measured my feet, and then they sewed leather boots for me, so they fit.
Cool.
So
nice.
that wasn't a problem.
Cool.
So a lot of awesome things happen in Assassin's Creed Valhalla. We talk about there's that supernatural aspect to it. Then there's the raiding. There's going on ships and castles. And what was your favorite thing for you then when you were shooting and motion capturing, recording? What was your favorite thing to do, I guess?
I think motion capture was my favorite thing. That was the thing that felt most like real down to earth acting, because we were doing scenes, big scenes. I think we had a camera. It's over 2 hours of scenes we've made for the game in motion capture, and 2.5 hours. I can't remember exactly, and I don't know how they've cut it. But that was the most fun part. Also, I loved traveling. So traveling to Canada and staying there with cool actors. That we were like a group of actors that was like the main cast of Assassin's Creed. So we were there all the time together.
Cool.
and then they use a lot of Canadian actors from living in Montreal. A lot of them that would do all the motion capture for some characters, and then it will be voiced later on by the ones they've picked for the characters.
Cool.
So motion capture was so much fun, and just diving into this game, this history of Assassin's Creed, and also of just this history of this game, because Valhalla is so massively huge.
Yeah.
And obviously it was fun making the voiceovers, but I've done hundreds of hours of voiceover, and that is 4-hour sessions in a black box where I'm not watching a screen. I'm saying lines, and it's.
How does that work with timing? Do you have to worry about the timing when you're saying the lines, like if you've already done the motion capture?
Yeah. When Cecilie did the ADR for the motion capture, and so obviously she had to hit every note. I did, and when we were recording it, in sessions. So in the beginning, I was following her, and then she was following me later on. So I had to hit her time. So if she recorded something,
Gotcha.
Then the developers would work with that, create the all stuff, and then when I came in later, I had to be in sort of the same time. I couldn't do like crazy stuff, because then when they did the animation, that would be weird if male Eivor would do something big and female Eivor wouldn't, because they're creating it sort of the same way.
Gotcha.
And then switching, the character.
Okay.
So I wasn't listening to Cecilie, but I knew how I could see the frame, and then they would, it's a little too long now. We need to.
I gotcha. Okay.
Did you have like a favorite scene though that you shot? If I guess you could call it a scene for a video game.
Yeah. Favorite scene. Oh, good question. You have good questions, Steve.
Russian.
East European. All
okay.
Scandinavian actors can play East European. That was like Danish actors getting internationally. That's like always being East European villains. That was like they can play that. They can play that. Like, he can be a Bond villain. Yeah. Favorite scene shooting in the game. I don't know. I actually don't know. I shot a lot with Sigurd, with Gumi, and I think that was really fun. And shooting all the stuff with Gaia Weiss, who plays Folke, full K, in the game. Gaia from Vikings.
Vikings, right? Yeah.
The whole storyline with Fulke is really cool. So
it was really
we shot a lot of cool stuff with her.
And I liked the guy who portrayed Alfred. I thought Alfred was cool in the game.
Yeah. He's really good. He has a great voice.
Yeah. His look was cool too. Everything about Alfred I liked in this game. But like, was there go ahead.
No. I just wanted to say they had to do something cool because
David Dawson.
Exactly, because David Dawson. Because there can only be one Alfred, and that is David Dawson.
That's so true.
I always salute you, David.
He was sorely missed in 4. 4 was great. Season 4 was great, but you definitely miss Alfred. But he had a great run though. Seasons 1 through 3.
Yeah, he was my main character in the first 3 seasons. I think
especially season 3, especially
so
season
interesting.
3.
I like all the politics. I want to jump into that. Some people just want to watch the Vikings. Like, no, let's get back to the Vikings because it's raw. I want the politics, man.
it's so cool. We're reading the books right now, so we're getting the other perspective where it's just Uhtred's perspective in the books.
Yeah.
And to watch the show, you like in the books, sometimes Alfred just seems like a dick. You know, you don't get his side of the story.
But in the show, sometimes Alfred just feels like a dick as well.
He does. But you can understand though where he's coming from a lot of the time. You can understand why he's being a dick right now.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to Assassin's Creed. Like, was there like what was like? Did any moves from like what you're doing with Cnut come into Eivor as far as like wielding an axe, or any crossover there?
Obviously, some not intentionally, I think, but obviously because it's me, Mario, because I have my way of fighting, you know.
Okay.
And I have my way of using my body and my body language, and I think the main difference is that Eivor is a hero. Mm-hmm. He's the hero of the game, and Cnut, he's the hero of his own saga, you know. Right. But he may not be portrayed as the hero from others' perspective.
Yeah.
For me, he will always be my hero. The good guy Cnut. But just in the mindset of knowing that you are playing the young hero type, that gives you a whole other way of moving around.
Oh, interesting.
And also when I did all the motion capture for Eivor, I was clean shaved, you know. Yeah. And that also does something when I'm sitting in my my makeup box in my wardrobe and looking at myself. I'm looking at a younger, more handsome man than you know, big bearded, greasy, long hair, scars. That also does something to you. That when the last time you look at yourself before you go on set, that's the face you're looking at.
Gotcha.
So there will be something, yes, obviously, and there's some Easter eggs as well in the game. But I really tried not to do stuff. I tried to, because a lot of people ask, no, they put some Cnut in, do some other. No, it's like no. I you know, it's
different character.
Else. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, it's a different character. What are some of those Easter eggs you're talking about? Are you allowed to tell us? Or?
Well, I know you meet a boy called Cnut.
Okay, I think I have. I think there was something I can't remember what it was. I just did the other day. I was like, I wonder if that's a reference.
And I can't remember what it was. I think I got put in like Eivor goes, what? One more time? It's like there's something I can't remember what we shot so many scenes, but there's something like that, and there's some other Easter eggs here and there in the game.
That's cool.
Speaking of the scope of it too, after you do like a show or a movie, you get to watch it afterwards. How do you kind of go through after you film like a video game? Then do they sit down and they give you like a movie version of it that you can enjoy, or they're just like, you've got to play this now. You've got to go all the way through.
They sent me an Xbox, new Xbox, and the game. Cool. So they wanted me to play it, you know, and and well, also they told me, you know, just wait, wait 3 weeks, and then you can just Google all cutscenes from Valhalla, and then we just
game movie, then
you can watch all that, you know. So they didn't send me that, and I could have asked them to like send me, and then they would have done it, but I didn't need that. Also, at the moment, I'm just letting it go, because I'm still doing DLCs for the game, you know.
Right.
I'm still in it, and it's really something else, because when you play, when I watch something I've filmed, I can look at it and like, oh, that's the way they cut it. Oh, that they edited like this, and oh yeah, I remember that day. That was a good day, or whatever. Oh, she's really good in this scene. It's so cool. Or, but shooting this, obviously the motion capture scenes are I think is very interesting for me to watch. Okay. Oh, like once or twice, like, oh yeah. So that's how it ended up. Oh, this is really cool, or whatever.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of scenes that I just did voice to, and then they animated the characters, and that is for me weird, or weird, not weird, but weirder than the other, because I didn't do the body. They animated a body to my voice.
You can't connect your performance to like any other memories around it.
It's just like, ooh, what is? Oh, okay. And sometimes I remember. The problem is I instantly start working again when I play it. I was like, oh, so that is how they animated that. I was like, instead of playing the game, I was like, oh, okay. So they.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Oh, if they animated that, then I would have done it differently. Yeah. Because I went more emotionally here, or okay, but I remember there's a scene in the beginning in Norway where you talks to, I think it's Volka, the seer, and she tells you that you will betray. I was almost said you'll betray Uhtred. You won't do that. It's a mashup. You'll betray Sigurd, and the way I played it when we recorded it was more. I did like, no, I will never. It was big, but when I saw the animation, it was quite small. It didn't move that much, but my voice was still, and I felt disconnected instantly.
Yeah,
and that is why I start working. That's me just going back to work. Like, oh, can we fix that? No, this is the game. Playing the game. You can't, So I need to, and maybe when I watch that scene in a month or half a year, I won't think that. I'm like, no, yeah, it's good, it works. But right now, I'm just still in the edit,
Yeah.
And I've been a lot in the edit on this game. There's been a lot of like, can we? I want to change that, and I want to. What's important? I think this when I prepared for each session, I've I had like, these are very important scenes, and this is very, this line is especially, you need to listen to hear this and this and that out of it, So I've been a lot in the edit on this game.
Okay.
Also, I made a promise in the beginning that I wanted to treat every line in this game, and I think that's 11,000 lines.
I was going to ask,
I didn't know that when I had made this promise. No, but I wanted to treat every line with respect and as important as the other lines. So it's not just a gameplay line. It's not a throwaway. It's because when you're sitting with your headphones on, playing the game in your room, diving into this story and this character, you want to listen to yourself. My voice, if you choose male Eivor, becomes you.
Right. And
if that is not, if you feel disconnected half of the time because it's just, or that's not important. It's gameplay. It's not important,
right.
Or whatever. Then it's not good, because then you feel disconnected to yourself, or then. So I really wanted to do my absolute best on each line, and which also when I'm then watching the game or playing the game, it feels like, oh, but I did this, but you animated like that, but if you want, but I wanted to know that you did that, because then I would have played that line differently, so we could.
I see. Okay, interesting.
So it's, for me, I'm too much in it.
Yeah.
To be able to relax and enjoy it. I can sit next to. I've done that with one of my good friends. Sit next to him while he was playing it. Then I could relax and just go, oh yeah. And then when we did that, oh, and suddenly I'm just that was weird or whatever. But when I'm playing it myself, I just drop it down and they kill me, and then because I'm or whatever,
Interesting.
As a third party though, I'm not just saying this because we're talking to you. I think your performance in the character in this is the best since Assassin's Creed 2. Probably better than that even, but Ezio was probably my favorite assassin prior to Eivor. So props to you and your team too.
Thank you, Steve. That is very that's very kind of you.
It's honest. It's genuine.
I think all Assassin's Creed fans would love to hear what you just said about how much care you put into each line, because I mean that's not an easy thing to do when you're in a studio for 4 hours a day doing line after line after line. I imagine that's mentally exhausting.
Yeah, I will say I had the best possible help in the booth with my voice director, Thor Bishoprick, a Canadian guy. So fucking cool, so good. And it's like, you lost. We have to do it again. We need to find him. We find him again or what? That's he was tough. Also, that's not Eivor. Come again,
Yeah,
but we created the character together,
Sure.
and I think that was really cool because I obviously when I was creating the character in motion capture, that was me doing all that.
Yeah.
But just line after line after line after line in a box alone, black. There's something else. And he was really helpful. He was so good, so great. I'll send a lot of love out to Thor Bishoprick.
Awesome, yeah. And I 100%. I can definitely tell. Like even what you said when you're calling the Raven. Normally in other games, it's kind of just like a throwaway mechanic line, like Raven or whatever would be in that moment. And it does. You're like, come to me, Sunan, or whatever it is.
Be my eyes, Sunan.
There it is.
yeah, but and I think it's nice when people write that stuff down, stuff to me, like because then I made an impact. It worked.
Definitely.
I personally don't care if you play male Eivor or female Eivor. What I care about is that you get the best experience out of this game. Because that's been what me and Cecilia and Darby and all the incredible devs on this project and all the technicians, everybody has been working on. It's just for you to be able to have a fantastic journey.
Yeah.
So sorry for the glitches.
Hey, that's any big game. I mean, even The Witcher. I love The Witcher. Witcher was probably my favorite game besides this, and that was glitchy until they patched it. I mean, it's almost 10 years later, I think now maybe, and it's 100% perfect.
Yeah. They keep patching it right now as well. The Assassin's Creed here, which is good. But that seems to be the way that don't play the game the first 14 days. Wait for the first patches. This is like
right.
Okay.
So we asked you this about Cnut, about like how you prepared for the character, the research that you did. Did you do anything for Eivor?
Yes, but I must say I had done a lot of research on Cnut, playing a Viking warlord for 3 years in the Last Kingdom helped me a lot. So I was in the mindset of a Viking, Right. And I knew, also being a Dane, I knew all the stuff about Norse mythology and all that.
I love that you can play through the Norse myths.
Yeah.
That's cool.
But I did a lot of research, and also I looked into the gods. I think we talked about that last time. That with the
Midgard
Loki.
serpent and Loki was kind of
exactly.
Knut's.
Yeah, especially for season 3. Season 4, I changed a bit on that. But I read a book called The Viking Spirit by, I think it's called Daniel McCoy. Very, very interesting book. You guys should read it. It goes deep into the gods and why, how and what the followers of these gods would do and why, and And obviously, the people on Assassin's Creed wanted me to look into Odin a bit more because, spoiler alert, but
no, you go ahead with spoiler. We'll put a spoiler alert in.
Yeah, but Eivor is sort of a reincarnation of Odin. That is not saying too much, not saying too little. But they are. He's not a reincarnation. They are. Let's just say they are connected.
Yeah, they are connected.
There is a very special bond, and so I had to. That's also why you would have a character that suddenly does poetry, suddenly does that, but also can just go crazy berserk, because that is also, Odin was the god of war, but also the god of poetry and god, so. And he was also a feminine god, and and wisdom, and so it's he's very, very interesting, and I actually I got stuff out of that book that I didn't know. I thought I was like, I'm keen with gods. I know my Norse mythology, but there's always a difference. You can always open the Bible and look a little bit deeper, like, oh, okay, So I did that as research, and also I looked into I always look into all kinds of stuff. I read a lot of I watch a lot, and I walk around in the woods and think. No phone, no. After about 20 minutes, your free thoughts, I think it's called in Danish. It's called fritanga. It's like, they start to, it's when you stop thinking about groceries, and you stop thinking about, oh yeah, I need to send an email, and by the way, at some point, you don't have all that,
right?
And then your mind start working, and if you are
interesting,
and if you are, thinking of a character while doing that, then that can give you stuff, give you ideas.
Cool.
When I'm working on present day stuff, I used to be sitting in a bar looking at people. I've been sitting at bars drinking coffee, looking at people getting drunk. But I was just sitting with a notebook, taking notes, or just interesting. Listen to bits and pieces of stories, like yeah. So, but cool. That doesn't really work for a Viking character. And also now all the bars are closed. So So I think every actor work differently.
Well, I like that you do a lot of research. Last time you came on, we loved hearing the stuff about the Midgard serpent that you incorporated into your costume. That stuff, as big fans of the show, made us go nuts. That was awesome. So it's really cool to hear that you do a lot of work before that you do the acting. So
yeah, that's awesome.
You have to, I think.
Yeah.
That's what they pay you for, and also, but also it's what makes it fun, I think.
Right. Yeah.
Because then when you go on set and when you get all the gear, you're ready.
Yeah.
And you're ready for whatever comes, because you know your character. You're not just making it up on the spot. This is you. Yeah.
Were there any motion capture techniques that you did that were like really difficult to do, or that were challenging, that you remember?
Nah,
not really. They were all.
I'm good.
Challenges.
No, because obviously the crazy stunt stuff, they had crazy stunt guys doing.
Okay.
They had fantastic stunt guys. I'm not jumping off a cliff.
I had you falling in a tree for about an hour at one point. It kept it was a save point, and I had jumped off the horse at one point, and there happened to be a tree there, and he just kept falling until he died. And I kept going back to that save point. Just had to open up a later one, or a previous one.
Did I make a believable scream?
Oh yeah, you were just screaming in my apartment here, just the whole time. Just Magnus screams. I was just like, I'm gonna respawn there one more time.
Yeah. That's good.
Is it weird for you when you hear Eivor dying or something like that? When you're like, ooh, does it kind of make you cringe or anything?
Not at all. Not at all.
No.
Not really. No.
What's the feeling like that you get when you see yourself on screen or you see yourself on a poster. Like I saw you, like anytime I'd go to Walmart or anything like that, like Eivor was big poster on him. Like, what kind of feeling do you get when you see those kind of things?
Well, I think it's cool, but then again, it's a picture of a character that is not me, you know. So it's also easier if it was a picture of Cnut, that would be me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
This is they used all my facial small micro expressions. They used my mouth, my smiles, my eyes, but then they have created another person.
Right.
So there's not that likeness in it, which also makes it nice because then you can be a bit more private. I like that.
Okay, cool.
I gave my my Eivor though red hair and big red beard though. So
there you go.
They told me like just letting you know that I've made a choice that you so that you can get Eivor to be redhead and have red beard, and that's for you, Magnus. So otherwise, it would have been a deal breaker.
Let's jump into a little Last Kingdom action here. Season 4, Last Kingdom, came out just after we talked to you last time. And once again, you guys killed it again in Season 4. And maybe one of our favorite episodes, which we'll get to here in a second, was episode 4, the Battle of Tettenhall. Maybe one of our favorites since Last Kingdom started. It was so epic. And you had a big part in that. Again, you just mentioned a minute ago that you had kind of brought some changes to Cnut into Season 4 here. I wonder if you could elaborate on that a little bit.
I think in Season 3, my main objective from Cnut was he was ambitious. In the end, in the end of Season 3, he's sort of become the leader of the Danes. He's sharing it with Heston and Brida, but Brida, that's part of the plan, you know. And he sees himself better than Heston, more capable of leading this army. And even though they cheat, they trash the plan, so to speak, in the end of Season 3. At the beginning of Season 4, he's the main. Yeah, he's the main Dane. He's sort of the king of the Danes. So he Cnut reached that goal, and he's together with Brida, even though she's maybe doesn't love him as much as he loves her.
Right,
she is with him. When you had managed to reach all those goals at that point, you all the you know, the shenanigans and all the manipulation getting there, you don't need that because you're the guy, you know. It's like, but I'll just say that and they will do it.
Right.
So, and also it came more through the ambition in the plan for the Danes was to settle there. It was to create a safe haven for the family, for the clan, for all the Danes. And that Cnut also says that now we're so close, Brida. We're so close now to getting what we always wanted, a place, you know, and obviously a throne and a kingdom, and where he would want to sit together with her.
Yeah. He even brings his sons in.
Yeah, exactly. So in that manner, he's landed now. He's not this rogue warlord with a small army anymore. So that was different.
Interesting.
Last time we talked to you too, you said that in this season 4, you were very thankful to the writers and the showrunners for giving you like a big moment. What was that big moment that I guess you're referencing, or what scenes? What
I was referring to was the whole. There's like a full circle in Cnut's story that you don't always get that. You know, it's like, so he died and that was it, or no. But the whole Ragnar betrayal in Season 3, the whole getting Brida, Cnuting Brida.
I like it. It's a verb.
New verb. All right.
Yeah. You've officially been Cnuted. And all that, and you get the end of Cnut's journey where it suddenly is told, and she hears it, and but you know, you get that, and you also I would have liked more to also have the reaction of Brita be longer.
Okay.
I think, but that is also me thinking, oh, that would be cool, but that is not for me to decide. But I think it's a big deal, and it's like, did you do that? Oh no, you know, it's that could have been. I understand why, and I understand they had a story to follow, and but I the whole killing of the sons and all, it's all in that episode as well, you know. Episode 4. So it's you know, it's a packed episode. And I would have loved to develop that into 2 episodes. So you wouldn't have, so I thought that the battle could have been the next.
Okay.
I think because I like the season, nothing there, but I think it's at some points it's a little rushed.
Yeah.
And that is that for some people really loves that they're always on the edge, always what's happening now. But that was sort of what I also liked a lot about the earlier seasons. Season 1, for example, just took its time.
Yeah.
And now it was just scene, always action. What is next? What is next? I would just love to dive more into all that.
Okay.
Than I did.
Yeah.
As an actor.
Gotcha. And even as a viewer, Steve and I kind of felt episodes 1 through 4 were excellent, but jam-packed with so much stuff, whether it was Uhtred's story, your story, Edward's story.
Elfric.
After episode 4, it kind of felt like it slowed down to us a little bit. It was a little bit, we've never really had a dull moment in the previous seasons. We felt there were a few dull episodes in there. So I agree. I feel like episodes 1 through 4, if it was spread maybe to 1 through 6 or something, and they just kind of, I feel like that could have been done. But
you know, it's that is not for me to decide.
No.
But also I've just felt that it's a big thing for some main characters, Brita, Uhtred, and Ragnar and Cnut.
Yeah.
That whole story there, that is big.
Yeah.
And you sort of get it all done, and they could use more time to
develop that a little bit.
But again, this is a series, and you have 10 episodes, and it's Netflix, and you
gotta get it.
So and also as I told you earlier, I like the politics. I like David Dawson just looking at him thinking. It's just like this is fucking gold, you know.
Yeah.
And scenes like with the scene with in season 3 with Alfred and Uhtred in the chambers.
Oh my God.
You know, that scene,
Chills.
it just took all the time in the world. And it was so nice. They were just sitting, respecting, talking to each other. And
that's awesome.
I love that. And
It just put a bow on their relationship. It just like
and I think they could have been done more.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, again, who am I to say anything? I don't want to criticize. It's just from my own perspective.
As an actor, sure.
As a character you put a lot of time into, you care about him. You know, that's understandable. Absolutely.
Yeah, but again, I think the character came full circle. I just wanted to have had more time to do it. So the thing that I wanted to say was that the whole stuff about losing or thinking that I lost my son, maybe sons, because he still has Esgar.
Yeah,
was that whole moment that leading to the war, all that because he had the perfect plan.
Yeah, well calculated.
And for him to just say, fuck that plan. I just need to kill Uhtred now. That to make that choice, that scene, and the scenes after, and also the scenes leading up to all that. That was what I talked to you the last time about, saying that this is I'm really looking forward to this.
Yeah,
this is.
I loved it. The when the messenger comes up to you.
Oh my god, one of my favorite scenes.
After he thinks that your son's just got beheaded by Uhtred, he comes up and you're just like, "What is it?" Like, I'm not gonna hurt you. I promise.
Yeah, just tell me the news. Yeah,
I won't hurt you.
What was it? What was it like to get into that headspace for that rage mode scene there? Because it's a very standout scene. It's a scene that I think the viewer remembers after watching the show, when Cnut just goes full rage mode after getting that news. Did you talk about like preparing for that?
Yeah. I wanted it. It had to be big, Also because he's such a slick guy, so to speak, in his own Viking manner, Yeah. But he's always in control. Even when he's berserk rampaging the battlefield, he's in control. And this needed to be a moment where he lost it.
Yeah.
And he kills one of his captains.
Bjorgulf, yeah.
He just massacred him, and then he just flips and just go. It needed to be big, and I had talks with the directors about it, what I wanted and what they wanted, but I felt that it was just an epic, so important moment. Also, this is where the Danes lose. This moment. This is where Uhtred wins.
Yeah.
It's not the Battle of Tettenhall. It's right there.
Yeah.
So that needed to be heavy.
It was. I think your grief and despair comes across as well as your anger. Like when Brida's trying to talk sense into you, and like just look in your eyes when you say they killed my eldest son and they have my other son. It's like a moment of grief, and then right back to the anger when you like tell Jackdaw now, push him away. Yeah. They were so good to me at that point. We were shooting in I think 35 degrees heat, sun just. And wearing fucking fur and shit, having a full beard.
That was, and everybody was very respectful to my work. They've always been that, but sometimes it's just more important.
Yeah.
I like to let it go sometimes.
Yeah.
And this was one of the moments where I just followed whatever came. And that was nice. When you get a chance to just.
Do you have to do anything like in your head to make yourself that angry, or do you just flip a switch?
I have 2 kids.
Yeah.
And I have a son who's now 5 years old, and I'm not using him when I'm working. But I know how worried I am about him, and I know what that feeling, what feeling I get in my body when he fell on his bike, for example, and he lost a tooth. He was 4 years old, although he was almost 4 years old, and he fell on his bike and just smashed his mouth and had to go to the dentist, and they had to pull out the last of the tooth. And I felt like the most, shitty dad in the world when that happened, because I didn't stop him, because I didn't help, because I let it happen, even though I didn't let it happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but controlled it.
But so I know that feeling of worry. I know that feeling of loss, of being afraid that something will happen to him.
Gotcha.
I know how that feels in my stomach, in my guts. So it's finding that feeling on set It's instead of thinking about your parents who died, and
right.
I have to look at my thinking about that to get in character. I think of how did it feel? How would it feel?
Gotcha.
Because I don't want to think about losing my son. I don't want to think about my son dead, you know. And I don't want to, if I had like a trauma, I don't want to jump into that trauma each night on stage.
Sure.
It's
not good for you
to cry on, you know, that's not, I don't think that's healthy. And I respect people who work that way, but that's not for me. Also, if I'm thinking of something else to get me somewhere, then how the hell am I connected to you in that scene? If it's not you making me cry, but it's my dead mom that's making me cry now while you're breaking up with me, that is in my headspace weird. That is a disconnect. So we need to find out how we can make this scene work so that you can make me feel that way. I will always obviously do all my work, but it's our connection. I'm trained in Meissner technique, which is that is you take it all from your co-actors. You know that's you. Yeah, I can only play on what you give me.
Gotcha.
Obviously, I have done all my research. I know all, but I'm taking it from you.
Gotcha.
That is sort of, that is not, I don't use that always, because sometimes you have to play to a tennis ball and then that is flat. Guys, my technique with this tennis ball it's not working. I can't do the scene. Well, Mr. Pacino is not available. Well, bring him back. No. That scene in season 4 that they cut with Al Pacino. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
why did they cut that? That was so weird.
I know. Al Pacino would fit perfectly into The Last Kingdom. Yeah. I mean, so let's talk about that charge, that epic charge you do, Battle of Tettenhall, and that scream.
That's great. I don't know what you want to talk about.
I don't know.
That was fun. Again, we shot in 35 degrees in the Hungarian summer.
That's what we've heard about that battle. We had Sarah O'Gorman on and got to talk about it a lot, and she did such a good job with that those 2 episodes.
Yeah, I love Sarah O'Gorman. I love her work on this series, and she was the first female director on this series in season 4. That is about to time. Think about.
About time.
It's about bloody time.
Well, hey, she killed it with that battle.
And now she's working on The Witcher, which is awesome too. So
yeah. But she is awesome, and she's also one of the directors that you will sit down and talk feelings with about the character. You talk deep, all that stuff. Some directors just don't care. Yeah, that's your work. Yeah. You know, okay, cool. Well, then I hope you're happy with my work then, because whatever. So, you know, they just think about how they film it, and some are really into, oh, that's the DOP. I don't care. Let's get in the groove with our character, and somebody's just, let's have fun. You know, it's very different. And no, you don't talk to me. You talk to the DOP. I'll sit behind my monitor. You know, it's. Directors are different. They can be strange creatures.
So it's 35 degrees out, and then they pile a bunch of bodies on top of you, and you have to crawl out of them. What was that like?
That was really fun. It was
like reminded me of Jon Snow in Game of Thrones.
That's what it was. It was a little reminiscent, but it still felt different and unique.
Oh, it was different. Yeah.
I just love that you're just like pissed off coming out of it too. Oh. You know,
I remember the DOP just shouting, just no more claustrophobic, more men on him, more claustrophobic. like okay, and we weren't even shooting yet. Just no, we need more. They love that.
Meanwhile, you're suffocating under.
Yeah.
We can start anytime now, guys.
And it was so hot, 35 degrees, and everybody in fucking furs, just lying. And these extras, this is big men, It's not.
And you're moving. Like you're
it's
battling.
the biggest Hungarian men they find, and they put furs on them, and then they put them on top of you in the sun. There's no shade. That was. I remember climbing up, getting up, and standing on somebody, and just crawling up, and then starting already starting stage fighting. Or the fighting, just getting this guy to off and fall and get an axe and kill, and then cut. And I just had to sit down with an umbrella, just. It's just. I can't
imagine. And
then ready? 1 minute. Yes, more claustrophobic. Yes, okay, I'm ready. Yeah.
We need twice as many guys this time. That's funny.
Bigger Hungarians.
That was something else.
Oh my god, I can't imagine.
Well, it was awesome.
It was a really fun episode to shoot. Also, the whole fight and all. I get to kill a lot of Saxons.
I love you stab one guy and then you just jam it into his chest. That was awesome.
Put him back into the trench.
Yeah.
Well, Cnut has a beast mode, and it's just switch. And in this episode, it's just full on.
I think I wrote beast mode on this. I was like, ask Magnus about beast mode. But
that was really fun. They put a GoPro on me. I think in one of the scenes, in one of the fights in that battle.
Yeah,
you kind of follow my head just going. That was. The director was just yes, more.
That's awesome. Very cool.
That was fun.
Then right after that too, we had probably my favorite duel since probably Ubba versus Uhtred in the show.
Yeah,
you versus Uhtred. That was just a nice, just awesome brawl.
Raw.
So raw. It goes to weapons, the fists. What was it like filming that then?
That was really fun and tough and hard and hardcore. We rehearsed it obviously, and then we ended up putting it on this top of this hill, in the forest on this cliff. So we had a lot of stuff we had rehearsed. We had to ditch and do something else because because the ground was different, and we didn't have the space, and so we changed a lot. I was in the beginning. I was supposed to throw a spear at him, and I just grabbed from some dead Saxon, and I would then throw my axe and then fight him with nothing, and then grab 2 swords and go. There was all kinds of stuff that then changed. There was some jiu-jitsu in the battle as well, in the fight, where we just jumping on each other, just 2 men fist on fist, just
so raw.
Two men just being fucking gritty and angry, coming for each other. It doesn't matter. It's just we're just beating fucking each other's faces, and you still have a lot of that, but there was more.
Ooh. That's one thing I really liked about it is going into it. Cnut thinks Uhtred's killed his sons, and then on an Uhtred's end, he led to the events of killing Ragnar's his surrogate brother. So like it was just so good. It was so good. But was it on the main battlefield then, the original plan, or what happened?
No. It was when I read the script in the beginning. It was like it was the end of the battle,
right?
Dead people all around. Like you get there was like a fog, and then you see Brita alone, and then you see Cnut just keeps shouting, Uhtred! And then they see each other, and then Cnut can't see Brita in the fog. And then that was the main idea. But then they put it up there. So you have Cnut you have Uhtred going away from the battle, and Cnut just following. Where is he now? Just go, fight me! All that.
Fight me. Yes.
So you get it up there. Also, the whole Brita getting captured afterwards in the woods and all that worked out fine. With that.
That was gut-wrenching, that part.
But anyway, the fight. Just wanted to say it was amazing working with Alex on that fight, because he is maybe one of the best stuntmen.
Oh yeah,
down there now, because he's been working this fucking crazy character for 4 seasons. So he's done so much. He's so good, and I've been killing so many stunt guys in this show. And suddenly now I'm fighting Uhtred, and when you hit him, he doesn't die.
Yeah.
So it was just intense fighting a guy. First of all, you don't want to hit him in the face. You don't wanna,
Oh, interesting.
Moneymaker.
Okay.
You don't want to smash this beauty.
Right.
So you don't want to smash a stunt guy's face. You don't want to smash anybody's face.
Right.
But this is just, if you do a wrong move and you fuck something up, it's millions.
It's a lot of money to.
Because it's the same with me. He has to be really careful with me as well as being in it. But you can replace a stuntman and put him on a leave for 2 days and come back. It's harder to replace Uhtred,
Oh yeah, definitely.
Alex he's fucking important for this show. So that was something else, and it's really cool to work with a guy who she's so good, and so. It was a whole day we did that fight, and I remember in the end when we were done, we were all. I didn't have one piece of leather on me that wasn't like soaking wet.
Oh my God.
My under all the stuff I had, and then my armor, everything was soaking wet.
Oh my God.
I think I drank 4 or 5 liters of water that day. I didn't piss once.
Oh my God.
So just saying, that was intense.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you liked the fight.
The fight was
you
amazing.
guys.
It was awesome.
It was raw, and it looked real. Like it looked like you guys were actually trying to hurt each other. I was going to ask, did Alex actually want you to like choke him? Like when you were on top of him, like,
because we know he can be a little method, right?
He can be kind of
method. He also wanted to choke me.
He did. He got you. Yeah.
And I had to say, I remember saying, I can play this. It's fine. It's because that's uncomfortable.
Yeah, I was gonna say it looked like it wasn't comfortable.
Yeah, but that was really cool, and also it was really cool to again have that fight. Again talking about being happy about something for when you were acting. It was great to be able to have that fight for your character.
Yeah.
And also, I was so happy that it was Brita who killed me.
Yes, that was excellent.
Because that's a surprise. Because everybody knows he's gonna fight Uhtred, blah, 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 blah. No, she gets her fucking revenge.
Mm.
All
She's
that.
the one who needs the revenge, right?
Yeah.
That was very satisfying.
You could tell he really liked her though too, and he really was upset. Or at least that's how I perceived it, though. That he was upset that she found out that he had betrayed her trust, I guess.
Yeah, exactly. And he thinks it's possible for them to go on because they were supposed to be together.
Yeah.
She is the one for him and to fill his hole. And to help raise the sons.
Right.
And sadly, she didn't tell him that there was a pup in the belly, because then the whole thing might have turned out differently.
She was close to, and then Bjorgulf showed up and
was
about to tell you.
That's why I killed him.
That would have changed everything. But then you die. What was it like doing that? I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, Magnus.
Do you see me die? Well, yes, we do.
Oh yeah. What was it like? Like, what do you do when you die? Like, making the how do you approach that? Doing that like fallback.
I try to be as sincere as possible. To not do too much, not do too little.
Right.
Okay. No, Rita, no, come here. As to try
exactly,
to.
yeah.
How would it be to have life just leaving you?
Mm-hmm. And you're also going through the realization that your sons aren't actually dead.
Yeah,
it was like
that's right. He drops that on you too.
It's a massive moment, and they have both of them survived. So, okay, and then he pulls the sword, and then because it's just like when you have an arrow in you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you tried that. Guys,
a couple times.
Cool, yeah.
Yeah.
But you shouldn't pull it out necessarily, because because it's actually stopping the bleeding right now.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the same with the sword. So when he pulls it out, then
that's it.
Then and yeah. So the thing is that we kind of made up a lot of it on the spot. So it's also just reacting to that. Okay, so this is we also had a thing with the axe that Cnut was looking for, pointing at the axe to Uhtred, and he would have the choice to give it to him because he was a worthy Viking, or just kick it off. And then he kicked it off, but we don't have that in the thing.
That's what, there wasn't a lot of the reaching for the weapons in this season. That was the one thing that I was also kind of missing.
I think they had too little time.
Yeah.
I think they were very tight on the budget, so to speak.
They were.
Yeah, because I would love to have had more small moments of real life, but I also understand that they need to just tell their story. This is the script. This is the. So.
I also love the little axe twirl you do a couple times this season. That was fantastic. I don't know if you practiced that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope there's not too many being disappointed reading the books that I fought Uhtred with an axe, because in the books it's Ice Bite, the sword, the legendary sword. But also in the books, Cnut has white hair and white beard and is older and all that. So you can't.
But my favorite part about that fight is how you guys just lose the weapons and it just becomes raw. And it just becomes trying to beat each other with your fists. And
ramming
that was the tree and all that.
And like that was fantastic. And the jujitsu kind of stuff, like flipping around, that was fantastic.
Yeah, that was really fun and tough. They actually, I think they made this a day in the life video. That's okay.
Yeah.
But they followed me. That was the day where we just shot that whole scene. Which is, I think it's a nice little. I think it's 4 minutes or something, like 4 minutes.
Yeah,
compact. It's fairly nice. If anybody watching this wanted to see,
check that out, people. We'll link that below. But when you're in Eivor, one thing I love is that when you hold the sword out and you're just like, "Come here," and they just ram it into the guy.
Yeah. That was actually one of the director wanted it to he had a feeling of Cnut's way of fighting and how he just with this bastard on the battlefield just enjoying killing, and that was just one of the ways that just I think I killed 4 people there of different gender, and then it's just like bring more, He was thinking about Clockwork Orange. That was like a Clockwork Orange moment That was for the character.
Yeah. Interesting. You would have desynchronized if that was AC Valhalla, though.
Yeah.
You would have desynchronized.
Yeah, if it was a priest.
Yeah, or any civilian or anything.
Yeah, any civilians, yeah. So there's one thing we forgot to mention back with your season 3 stuff though was the tug of war from back at Dunholm. What was that like? I mean, Tobias, as Ragnar giving the speech, and then we've heard that like you guys even kind of like went into doing some tug of war. What was that like for you?
That was I remember that was great fun. I was still new in the cast at that point,
right?
And that was Andy de Emeny, the director at that point. He played this. We made a party, like there was like big party music at Dunholm for all the extras just to get in like in the mood, and then cut the music, and then tug of war. Who are these? Who is these fucking Saxons? They're frog eating labor. Whatever he said.
Yeah,
frog licking.
And we did it. Frog licking, apple cheeked, all that jazz. We did. That was a good day. Also a tough day because we were actually trying to win.
Oh, that's exhausting.
While they were filming our feet in the mud, for example, like, yeah, we'll do it again. Just film his feet. That's it. But Tobias, I love Tobias. He's incredibly talented actor. I hated he had to go in this show, but then again, I loved my character too much, so of course he had to go. He was taking too much space, and he had Breda and all that.
Yeah. And then one other thing is when you're talking to Heston earlier, you had mentioned last talk about you interjecting "my friend." That phrase, "my friend," and that's something that you kind of brought to the table. So it just, when you said it to him, you're like, "Don't give me a reason to kill you." Pause. My friend.
Yeah, I remember
it was like perfect. It was like,
we were watching season 4, and after we had talked to you about that, I was like, "Oh, I know what that means."
There it is.
There you go. Did you put your hand on his? Oh, god damn it!
Yep.
There's one thing in this season that I especially remember putting in was when Björk will come with the head.
Oh yeah.
I asked him to throw it to me. So, and then we tried that before asking the director, could we do this? But we tried it out, and it's like, and then he was like, "Yeah, that's cool." So he actually come, and I think I just put my hands up like this, just, and then he throws the head.
Yeah. You catch it perfectly too, so it's like facing you. I was like, "Man, great catch."
I'm a catcher.
It's not your first head that you've caught.
No, it's not the first head, obviously. No, but also having that, and then not talking to him, talking to the head. I think that was
cool.
Fun, and then just being the king, That was also the change here. I didn't have to show them anything. I could just drop the head and just walk in,
And I love how they respect you a lot in this. Like Cnut's army, like you drop a funny line about becoming stiff at Saxon blood or something. Well, that's what Björgulf says, and you're like, I can't remember what you say, and they all laugh. Like they all respect Cnut in this, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, and that's how to play a king. You can't do it yourself. It's your audience.
Yeah.
It's how they portray you. That's how they look at you, how they act or react to what you do. That makes you the king.
Totally.
I could easily play, I am the berber, but if everybody is just, what?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And I had the best crew. And it was such a pleasure working with all the guys and girls in my army. I was sad to let them go.
We didn't realize we were going to lose you so early in the season. We thought it was awesome the way you went, but man, we missed you though. The rest of 5 or the rest of 4 rather. Oh man, and going into 5, Cnut will be missed for sure as the baddie.
Yeah, but I hopefully I made some sort of impact, and now the story can go on, and they're shooting season 5 right now. That's perfect.
Yeah, we're excited about that.
So that is really cool. And I can't wait to see it whenever it comes out. I had to go to Valhalla, That was Cnut's journey. He had to go,
I know it. But you definitely made an impact on the show. You were like a great antagonist this season, for sure. And in season 3, I liked you were a very unique antagonist in season 3. How you were sly and not kind of the main guy or in the background. But in season 4, you really came into your own as an intimidating presence, a force to be reckoned with. So that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you very much.
You got it.
Man, that's very kind of you to say. And I really enjoyed playing it.
Cool.
So that also helped.
Thank you so much, though, Magnus, for coming on, talking with us about Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Last Kingdom Season 4. We're big fans of both, so it was awesome to get someone who's in both of those to talk to you about this, and lots of great stories and insight. It was awesome. It was great talk. Thank you.
Cool. Well, thank you for having me, and hope people will enjoy listening to it. And stay safe, wear a mask, and let's get this pandemic over.
Let's get it over with. Yeah, thank you again, Magnus. Hope you stay well.
Cheers out.